Welcome to the Public Speaking Experts Podcast with Elliot Kay and Jose Ucar. Every week we bring the tips, tools, and strategies for you to become a world-class public speaker. We bring you guests, experts, and authorities in the field of public speaking to enrich you and enhance your public speaking journey. Remember to subscribe, rate, and comment. And now, please welcome your hosts, Elliot and Jose.
Hello. Good evening.
Hola.
Corazón Latino. Hello.
Corazón Latino. I love that song. I just don't know the lyrics.
I think that's all I know.
Right,
Corazón Latino. Dun, dun, dun.
How are you? ¿Cómo estás? Are you okay?
Muy bien, señor. ¿Cómo te va?
Sí, muy bien, señor. Órale, sí,
muy
claro, sí, gracias. Sí.
Hacemos todo el podcast en castellano, ¿sí?
Sí, en castellano de Argentina, por favor. Sí, señor.
¡Vamos a Argentina! ¡Vamos a la Puma! No? Okay. Right.
Well, all Spanish is good Spanish. So I'll speak about accents, and I do like mimicking accents as well. I do my best. You know, you're right, mate. You know what I'm saying, innit?
Yes, I'm not sure. Well, look, I have proof.
Well, I need to practice. I need to practice it.
Peter, where are you? I'm on Riverside, mate.
And that's your attempt to do Cockney, right? Was that your attempt to be Cockney or British? What was that?
No, that was a bit of a combination. You know, that was just me excited because I wanted to see you, and then you made fun of me. So that's how I felt. I don't ever want to speak like that again because I've been made fun of.
I never made fun of you. I still haven't loaded the voice messages you left me when you were drunk.
Oh, those. Are we going to be sharing those?
No, of course not.
Okay.
I'm keeping them as my secret weapon. When you least expect, like, pow! That's when they'll pop up.
Yeah, I love. Well, I'm glad we're not recording or sharing any of this live or anything like that. So it's good. It's good that my secrets are not going out there. So please, Elliot, keep it confidential.
You're happy it's not going out live on LinkedIn or YouTube
exactly.
as we speak right
now.
No?
Yeah, or the fact that people are going to be listening to this on replay, and the fact that they're going to subscribe, comment, share. So thank you for
and the fact that we're entered for an award. And people are actually listening to this podcast who potentially could give us an award.
Exactly. So let's keep it professional. Let's not share some of our secrets and the dirty laundry. And
let's share some secrets. Go on.
Some secrets.
Share a secret. Share a secret that you can share.
What kind of a secret? when I lost my virginity.
Is
that a secret? I don't know. What kind of secret?
I don't know.
Is it not a secret?
For example, I was next door when someone who ended up in a very popular pop group lost his virginity. That's a secret. I'm not saying who.
Oh, okay. That kind of a secret.
Well, it doesn't have to be about losing virginity, but you raised the losing virginity, so I thought
I thought that would be a secret. I don't know. I have
Where do
no
you keep
idea.
your money?
Where do I keep my money?
Keep your stash of cash?
So is it because I'm Venezuelan? I'm supposed to keep a stash? Yeah, I'd bury it outside. So if you go to my garden, you're gonna find it.
It's impossible to find your house. No one can find your house, so it doesn't matter.
That is the secret where I live. That is.
There we go. Fantastic. Well, speaking of secrets, which has nothing to do with our topic of today, today's topic is all about communicating with authority. Way. In the Public Speaking Expert podcast, and you know what I've done, Jose?
Tell me, because for a moment I thought we were doing the other episode. So you sure we're doing the authority one?
We're doing the authority one. Yes.
Okay, cool. So
I'm so glad you kept up to the order of things we do things in.
No, I know. I'm always every time. Yeah, you did. You did tell me something else, which I love the communication between us, communication with authority, indeed, and clarity. So there we go. So what
maybe
have
I need
you done,
to
Elliot?
start leaving you drunk messages, and then that way.
Maybe you need to do that.
I'm saying.
Yeah, and then people are gonna think, well, Jose's always like drinking out there and living a party life, party animal.
I didn't say you leave me a drunk message every day, every other day. But
look, I had a few drinks and I decided to share with you, and that's how you repay me. Yeah?
Right?
How dare you? So go. It was beautiful. Go and tell us.
I feel very connected to you. It's true.
Yeah,
You
we
we had a
connected.
few drinks together, and that was very beautiful. We had a very beautiful conversation. Not that you can remember because you're probably drunk. So
No,
let's talk about this.
let's talk about what you've done. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
You know what I've done?
What have you done?
So I watched like a gazillion TED Talks, like the most popular ones. And I watched some really famous talks as well, graduation talks, and various ones are very famous. And you know what I did? I distilled what they all had in common. Do you know what they are? And this is how you communicate with authority. Are you ready?
I am ready. I wonder whether people are ready. Are you people ready? If you're listening to this, are you ready? Boom.
That's the yes. Right. So I'm going to do a few, then we'll do a break, and then we'll carry on, and then we'll wrap it up. So there's some key ingredients. Let me count how many. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 ingredients that if you want to communicate with authority, right? For those who are listening on the podcast, because they just mimicked falling asleep to what I'm sharing. He's so rude. So
he's got
rude.
so much. He's got so much authority.
For that, you get a
boo.
It's been a while since you got one of them, but you definitely get one of them for that. Right. So let's go through them. Jose, what do you think the first one is?
Of speaking with authority.
Yeah, communicating with authority. But
yeah, I would say clarity of the message.
Wrong.
Oh, but well, I mean
So
that is the list you created. So for
boo.
The first thing, actually, think of all the TED Talks that are really famous. Think about all the big talks. What's the one thing they have in common? I'll tell you what it is.
Storytelling.
No.
Okay, hold on a second. Give me one more. So another one that all TED Talks have in common. Well, there is. I mean, so the TEDx, we're speaking about the content to make it authoritative. Well, you know what? You're gonna give us 10. I want to. Yeah, tell me, because I thought it would be storytelling is a powerful one.
Well, I kind of took the key ingredients. Storytelling is a methodology which you deliver.
Okay, so tell us the ingredients. What's the first
one?
The
first one was vulnerability.
All righty. Okay, good point. Yeah, the stories people share. Yeah. Okay, cool.
Right.
Gotcha.
So the first one I noticed with them all is they all have an element of vulnerability. Even if it's highly scientific or even if it's highly informational, they all have an element of vulnerability to them. If you look at Malala when she speaks as well. So I also looked at some young influencers as well, like Malala, incredibly vulnerable when she speaks. Not like to the point of falling over crying vulnerability, but in that kind of humane way, that approachability, that just little bit of like really nice openness, heart space, heartfelt vulnerability. What do you think about that?
I love it. And the the episode we did with Manny Cabo, you can actually experience plenty of vulnerability from his words. So absolutely, I couldn't agree more. Vulnerability used with purpose, not just for the sake of it. Yes, powerful. Absolutely. Yes.
Now, of course, the issue people have with vulnerability is they mistake it for weakness, or they think you have to be weeping on the floor. That's not what I'm talking about. We're talking about communicating with authority. So what we're actually talking about is really communicating to people's heart space, from your heart space, and having that openness to you that allows people to really buy into you as a person and authority, which humanizes you. So that's component number one. What do you think the second one was?
So the first one you said vulnerability. I have no idea, Elliot.
Passion.
Okay, there we go. But I mean that is your 10 steps, your 10 thingies. I mean, how am I supposed to next time?
I don't know, I just want to see if you're if you're in tune with it.
Next time you send me
maybe
some.
we need to yawn together.
Maybe yawn, yeah. Just give me a bit of yawning, yeah. People
right.
may not know what you mean by that, but hey, maybe we tell them later.
We'll tell them later. So passion is another one, and I don't mean loud, yelly passion. Actually, when you communicate with authority, you are passionate, right? But it's that calm, collective certainty versus the loud, shouting, which there's room for here and there, but that's a big component. The third one is, I won't ask you because you're like, I don't know.
No, hold on a second. How about then? So you said vulnerability, passion, I would say the third one is going to be body language.
No, humor. They
Okay, so
all
and then the
mix.
empathy is going to be one of them somewhere.
Well, empathy to me falls within vulnerability,
Okay, cool. So then
right?
that's it. I won't share anything else with you. Carry on.
Promise?
No.
So, humor. What I noticed with the big ones, right, that they all sprinkle humor all at the right time. They all sprinkle humor in a way that makes them more accessible, more authoritative, in a way that actually enhances the point they make. They don't use it to distract, they don't use it because they're uncomfortable. Actually, they use it to magnify. And I thought that's a genius element of communicating with authority. Whether they're a little bit gestury, they're making a little bit of fun of themselves, but not self-deprecating. It's very different. Or whether they're using it as, they're able to tell jokes to magnify things. I thought it's incredibly, incredibly clever. The next
How about certainty? Have you got certainty
again,
somewhere in
that's
there?
the state you're in.
Okay, there we go. So your crazy mixture of things, none of them incorporate mine.
Let's go for a given, right? Let's go for a given that they're using stories, that they're credible. These are all givens, that they're certain in their delivery, right? Whether they were inside or they came. Let's just take those as givens because these are
Okay.
analyzing big famous ones. Yeah, look at your top
So
20
would you say charisma?
Not
Or
all of
are
them.
you mixing charisma? Okay, so not all of them had charisma.
No, but
Okay.
they all were very powerful when they delivered because they had these elements, you see. If you look at Malala, she's a great speaker, but she's not particularly charismatic.
Good point.
But she
How
holds
many-
a room of thousands with strength, but very quiet strength. You see?
Okay, there we go. So how about presence?
Let's assume they all have presence.
Then carry on
Right.
with your list. Carry on with your list before I leave the call.
Okay. Promise to leave the call. Okay, cool.
No, I'll never do that.
Okay.
Carry on, buddy. Carry on.
The other one, this you must. Well, I'm not going to let you guess. I'm just going to tell you. Higher calling. They all are on stage because there's something greater to their cause, to what they want to share, to why they're there. Whether that would be, getting girls to education, whether that be getting women to be treated equally, whether that's the education system, whether that's understanding purpose, right? There's all something greater to them than this, than just standing there speaking because, look, I'm a great speaker and I'm really funny and I'm really charismatic. Look at me, I'm a speaker, right? My famous.
So a higher calling, yeah, which could be
Yeah.
for some people purpose in this case, or their big why, what they
Yes.
stand up for.
Exactly.
Beautiful.
Speaking for
Yes.
diversity and inclusion, right? Something much greater than them. The other one is a unifying message. They all had a common unifying message that unified the audience to get behind them. Often it's a message that's very hard to disagree with, or even if you disagree with it, you kind of accept it. So it's a very strong unifying message that, you'd have to be an a-hole to contest. And I noticed that. Now that's, humility was the other one. A lot of them exhibited humility. Very few of them walked in like, I know everything. I'm God's gift to the earth. Actually, on the contrary, whether they were very confident or not, they all exhibited an element of humility. Now, again, if you're going to be vulnerable, then often you'll exhibit humility as well. The last part is they use data very efficiently. So they use stats, science, research really, really well. And they were very resourceful. So they used the tools that they had to maximum impact. They used technology to magnify certain parts. The way they integrated different parts of their talks with props or with very different elements was also very, very clever. So they're very resourceful as well. But there was one thing they all have in common. The overriding thing that they had in common, which I'm going to share with you in a minute, after I ask Jose what he thinks it is. But till then, I'm just going to do a quick commercial break.
Go on, do your commercial.
You are listening to the Public Speaking Expert Podcast. We record and release a new episode every Saturday. So make sure you like, subscribe, and leave us a comment. And if you leave us a comment, which is a nice comment, we will send you the book, How to Stand Out a Speaker and Be More Giraffe, until Jose actually writes what he's meant to write and we release our book together. Do remember that we, of course, are professional speakers. So if you'd like to book us for your event, your conference, or your team, you can book myself or Jose together or individually. We'd love to come in and do this. And this episode is sponsored by Gig Getters, the one and only gig sourcing service, which takes away all the hard work, finds you the gigs, and gives them back to you. No cut, no commission. Let our fingers do the talking. This is sponsored by giggetters.com. So if you want to find out more, reach out. Let's have a conversation to talk how we can find you your next speaking opportunity.
Let our fingers do the talking. That's what I'm talking about. Let our fingers do the talking. It was different. Let our fingers do the talking.
Let our fingers do the talking and the walking. Basically, because how we do it. It's like tick, tick, tick.
No, I get it. No, I get it.
You sure you get it?
Yeah, no,
Are you sure? Don't need to explain it.
I kind of do it. No, please don't. Not again. It's okay. I get it. That's
sure?
why I liked it. Yeah, kind of sure. I'm sure enough to be unsure type of thing,
So, Josie.
What is the last one? Yeah, thank you very much. What?
So we've had vulnerability. We've had passion. We've had humor, like me, I'm very funny. We've had higher calling, a unifying message. We have meaningful. Oh, I missed that one. I missed that one.
Meaningful what?
Meaningful tone. Measured tone. Measured tone. There you go. Measured tone. They use their tonality really, really well. They knew how to vary their tone in a way for mass impact. What I noticed is they were never too loud, and they were never too soft. Even when they varied between it was very cleverly calculated to deliver with mass impact. And I forgot that one. So, measured tone. And now we're on to the last one. What do you think the last one is?
I'm tired of saying I don't know. So I don't know what the next one is going to be.
What am I all about?
I'm going to prepare a list.
This is the thing that gets me all juiced up, and I'm always banging on about it. It's where the
I was going to be sharing that one where the money is structure.
Yay!
Let's do it! You know what? I thought
finally getting right.
I thought I wasn't good enough. I thought I wasn't good enough, that I wasn't made for this, that I wanted to give up my career, my dreams, and finally structure. Elliot, you just made my day. I mean, I couldn't be here without you, and it's so thank you. Honestly, thank you so much. I'm glad I'm glad I nailed at least one at the end. So hey, there we go. Structure.
There we go. They all had a solid structure, which led the audience to where they wanted them to land. Nothing was left to chance. So if you want to communicate with authority, if you really want to make an impact with your speaking, you got to sprinkle vulnerability, passion, humor, have a higher calling, have a unifying message, have a measured tone. Show humility, be resourceful, use the right data, and use a really good structure, which leads the audience to where they need to land. What do you think about that? Boom! Jose.
Yeah, in my face. People, what do you think about that? As we always like to say, subscribe, leave us a comment, share, let us know. What do you think about that? Because I find those 10 key elements powerful. You can learn about them. We can help you. We actually cover many of them already. We have covered many of them on the podcast. So I mean,
We
people,
did
what
one
is
about the power of
stopping you?
vulnerability, didn't we? We did a whole
Exactly. We
episode
did
about
one recently. Yeah, correctly. You stand correct in there, Elliot K. Thank you. You
You're very
do.
welcome.
And people,
So what do you think
what's
about that?
stopping
That's why I
you?
want to know. What do you think
Exactly.
about those 10
Yeah.
ingredients?
Well,
Tell me. Tell me.
personally, I do like the 10 ingredients. I agree with those. They're key. Beautiful. And yeah, as you always do, you break things down, you do your research, and then you bring, the key nuggets for people to take action. So there is a structure within the structure that you then present to others, which I love. And
The structure within the
yeah,
structure.
the structure, when I say the structure within the structure, because you're talking about a structure that you've created, and in the same way there is a structure for you to deliver all of those elements. So the structure within the structure is the structure, and the money follows.
I love that. Brilliant. So that's been about communicating with confidence. What would you, just out of interest, if
With
you were to compile
authority,
your, what did I say?
with confidence, which it also
Did
helps,
I?
of
Oh,
course.
communicate with authority. What would your list be if you had to choose your top five? What would you have in there? Just out of interest, considering I've just
Well,
thrown
if
you
I,
into this.
yeah, so thank you very much because I've,
You're
I've,
welcome.
I've had my time to prepare. For me is one element is having a conversation with the audience. So inviting the audience into the conversation. It's not to say that you need to ask them questions or anything, but speaking in a way that gets them to be part of the conversation. Because to me, speaking
Mhm.
is it's a conversation you're having with a larger audience. Vulnerability has always been big for me, Elliot. That's very important. So I would definitely add that one in there. You know me, humor for me is key. I think taking things too seriously is just, it's just that balance. What else would I say? I've got, well, but this is authority. So it's not just Jose's style. Um,
Two more.
well, what can I say? I mean, you cannot take the audience on a journey from A to B if you don't have a structure.
Woohoo!
So then, absolutely, that one needs to go in there. How you structure even your stories, and then how you structure the whole talk, and how you incorporate the data. Having data is key, because then we're building an emotional case, but then the data is going to give you that rational case, which then is going to create a powerful and persuasive presentation or talk. Boom. So I would say all of them are relevant. If you ask me for the five, I think I've given you five.
You gave me five. So you conversation, vulnerability, humor, structure, data, or data.
Data,
Depends where
man.
you are.
Data. Yeah.
Fantastic. So listen, people, if you want to communicate with authority, here's the thing. You've got to allow a measure of vulnerability. You've got to let people, you need to speak to people's hearts. Even if it's an intellectual topic, you still need to reach them, because people always remember how you made them feel, not what you said, right? Got to have passion. But it's not that loud, forceful passion. It's that quiet confidence, and the passion comes through the fact that you care so much that every word lands. Got to sprinkle a bit of humor. Humor breaks barriers, right? Humor allows to magnify authority. So sprinkle some humor. It's got to be something bigger than you, have a higher calling. It's got to be something greater than you. It's got to be about legacy. It's got to be beyond your lifetime if you want to go big. And of course, a unifying message, something that is so obviously simple but important that who wouldn't get behind it. Even if they disagree, they still in a way support. A measured tone. Know how to use your tonality for mass impact to communicate authority, yet have a bit of humility with it as well. So it's not about look at me, I'm so strong and powerful. Have that humility, be a human, be resourceful, use what's around you to mass effect, have the right stats and science behind what you're saying, and of course, have an incredible structure to deliver it with.
And be more
Jose,
giraffe.
and always be more giraffe. Any last words, thoughts, contribution, insights, wisdom?
You mentioned, and that is another element I will throw in my list as well, the humility element, which is key. When we are humble, we operate, I like to believe, at a higher level, linking it to purpose and everything else. So we are not there. I want people to remember this. We're not there for ourselves, we're there for our audience. And then sometimes we put a great deal of pressure because we want to perform. And actually, it is quite important that we make the time improve ourselves, not just to shine on stage, but actually just to deliver value so that people go and take action and change their lives. That is that ripple effect that I always like to speak about. So if you're speaking with authority, you're incorporating all of those elements. Operate from a humble place instead of ego based, because then remember, the ego is going to tend to look for that perfection, that shining on stage and being the center of attention. When you are humble and operate from that humility place, the message is going to land differently, and you're also going to take pressure off yourself, which I've discovered. So whenever I'm there for the audience specifically, I just want to reinforce this point. Be there for the audience. That's why for me it's so important to have a conversation. It's not just, yeah, this is what I'm delivering, this is my topic. No, I'm having a conversation with all of you, and you are incredibly powerful. You have got the resources. You're going to take something away, and in a way, you're going to improve your lives. So that's what I wanted to say. Humility. I think that humility would go sometimes number one, especially nowadays with so many, rising stars and things like that. I think remain humble would be my last word. Message for me as well.
Beautifully said.
Te amo.
Te amo también.
Mm.
Peace. All right,
Peace and
people,
love.
remember to go out there, take these ingredients, speak with authority. Don't only be a great speaker.